tank is. You were talking about.
Yeah, I want to know how bad I am.
What a terrible car.
Remember, you got to get in my car in a couple of minutes. So I want to hear how bad it is.
It's been going really good.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought he'd say.
Hey everyone, it's Saturday night, March 14th, season opener, but we're not racing at the racetrack tonight at the Madera Speedway. Really an odd feeling. We've put so much effort and energy into this season. Richest race in the history of the Madera Speedway, the richest series in the history of the Madera Speedway was supposed to kick off tonight. But we're here at the production studios working, as I've talked to you guys before about, we've been working all winter long. We've not stopped here at Short Track TV delivering content to MAVTV. Some of that footage you saw before, we were interviewing Grant Thompson, Joey East, Jake Bowman, other individuals. We're putting a lot of effort into the documentaries of our champions. We're doing a documentary right now of Austin Herzog and of Joey East that will air coming up here shortly on MAVTV. Speaking of MAVTV, we have the March 19th is the Harvest Classic coming up. This Thursday night, Harvest Classic, a lot of fun. Jim Burgess, wing sprint cars versus open wheels. Jim Burgess pulls off a big win. You have to watch it. Just quite the night. We've got a lot of diversity in that night as well. As we've got tractor pulls, wing sprints versus super modifieds, and something that we're hoping that really kicks off a lot more open wheel style racing that we can put on MAVTV Open Comp and showcasing some other types of racing at the Madera Speedway. I mentioned the Joey East special that will air that we were filming, that you saw that little clip just a few minutes ago that we shot last night, Friday night. We practiced at the Madera Speedway, had about 100 people out. Did everything abiding by the rules, and but we shot some additional footage for the Joey East documentary, and that will air on April 16th on MAVTV. The Austin Herzog documentary, day in the life, and kind of all of Austin's history in racing. Really neat piece we're working on right now. That will air on April the 2nd. So, like I said, season opener was supposed to be tonight, but we're not there. And mainly why I'm doing this video right now is to update everyone. I didn't have the opportunity yesterday to do our Fast Fact Friday video to update everyone. It's been quite a hectic week. First, I'd like to say sorry to the race teams that came out. Sorry to the race fans. I know we're getting a lot of calls at the race office right now, and we really tried. We looked at all options. I spent a lot of time Wednesday night and especially all day Thursday with our legal team and with our insurance representatives from back in Indiana, looking at every option. But really what took place was Wednesday night, there was a document that went out from Sacramento, and then midday Thursday, there was an adjustment, and then an executive order that came out from Sacramento Thursday, midday, afternoon, early afternoon. And then there was documentation came out from the various counties where racetracks are in, or sporting venues, or whatever it would be, weddings, or any type of an event. And in that, especially in the executive order from Sacramento, from the governor, there was some language that was problematic for us, and that's where we really brought our attorneys in, insurance, and in a couple of areas in particular. There was a phrase, essential gatherings and non-essential gatherings. So we are considered at a racetrack, it's a non-essential public gathering. So that limits us to 250 people maximum with 6 feet of spacing in between them. We had upwards of 65, 70 late models between the juniors and the pros. We also had mini cup bandoleros and MSTs. Bottom line, what was going to happen with 250 people, there was just no way to operate the program. We've got 50 staff members required plus 14, 15 on the TV show. It would have limited each of the race teams to roughly 2 driver plus 1 crew member. There was really just no way to do it. On top of that, a lot of other things began to happen. Obviously, we all know NBA and Major League Baseball's pushed back, NBA's canceled. I was on the phone with our people are rather well connected to our sport, IndyCar and NASCAR. So we kind of had some signaling that there were going to be some changes. I felt even into the weekend, which ended up taking place. The NASCAR next two races were canceled, IndyCar canceled, and we looked at all options, but we certainly did not want to go against the state of California and Madera County. Now, with that said, our fairgrounds, and in particular our fairgrounds manager, we've been on the phone for the last 2 days, and we are looking at options. We have meetings planned this week with our legal team and with our insurance again on Tuesday and Wednesday. We're looking at all options, but right now the situation is most every outdoor venue, unless it's an essential gathering, which essential would be going to, I guess, a Costco, a Save Mart, where you shop, and even if more than 250 people gather there. But non-essential, it's 250 or less. And we certainly don't want to go against the instructions. So we decided to postpone tonight's event. Heartbreaking, so much work went into this. Race to Be Drug-Free Big Three, our sponsors Nut Up and 5150, both with their series on our MAVTV. This was a MAVTV televised show. Absolutely heartbreaking, but I really feel like we did the right thing. We need to keep our sport in the best light possible. So to take a couple of weeks off while this all settles down from our race schedule, that's what we decided to do. We are looking at options. It's a club race this next week. So there are some options to keep that rather small and to possibly function without the grandstands open. But we are going to take the guidance from other individuals, state, county, and if they're uncomfortable with that, we're going to do what's right to stay in line with generally what's going on in the sports market. So we may be shut down from race activity until April 4th. So I'll jump ahead to the schedule on April 4th. That's scheduled to be round 2 of the MAVTV televised series with the Nut Up Pro Late Model Series and the 5150 Junior Late Model Series. Scheduled to be round 2. It will end up being round 1. That's our plan right now. If we're not allowed to operate this coming Saturday, March 21st and the 27th, what we will do is host a private practice similar to last night. Very small practice, small crowds, certainly way under 250. Probably last night was 130. So that will allow the teams, especially the teams that have rental cars, to function. That will allow their drivers to get up to speed. There's a lot of cars that aren't finished yet, and drivers and teams that need track time. And speaking of rental cars, we understand, and even not rental cars, there's quite the industry around late model racing. There's a lot of cars, and it goes from the chassis manufacturers to all the parts manufacturers, the teams that operate these cars, the mechanics, and we've got a lot of full-time people that are working around this program. So even though some people, I kind of laugh when they say non-essential gathering, a non-essential event, to those that are making a paycheck and paying their bills from the sport, it's an essential event. So we'll continue to make that point. But again, I just want to communicate with you guys. Should be racing Saturday night. We're all feeling a little empty right now, I think, but it was a tough decision. I did everything I could looking for a lane to operate tonight and just really ran out of space. Again, I apologize to the teams that came all the way out. Had this taken place, what took place late Wednesday night and Thursday, had this taken place on Monday, we would have canceled early and made sure no one traveled, no one moved. Part of why I was working so hard to operate this event, even an offer of no grandstands, limited pit area, paying a record purse on television, which financially is a train wreck for us. But I tried with everything I could to make this happen, understanding that the teams came from such a distance and I did not want them to waste their time. So we will not reschedule a TV race, and I want to emphasize this, even if we are allowed to operate this coming Saturday night, which I don't think is the case right now, but even if that happens, we will not schedule a televised race. We don't want to disrupt the televised series in any way for the teams. Their first race will be what was the second race, again, April 4th. What will happen with the event tonight? This event, our number 1 round, will become April 4th, and this event will happen sometime in summer, June, July, or August. We're looking at the best options right now. That gives the teams plenty of time to make travel arrangements and not disrupt life for the teams, understanding the juniors as well. We want the summer months. It's a lot easier for school. So that's what's happening right there. Let me touch on some of the options, what we're working on right now. with our legal and the ideas we're exchanging, we're also working with a lot of other racetracks at the same time, and as a group communicating with Sacramento, certainly each of us were a little bit different from the counties and the directives from the counties. But what we're looking at right now, there's a 250 person cap with this non-essential event, 6 feet of spacing in between each individual. We feel there's a difference in 250 people inside a 2,000 square foot banquet room compared to a property of an outdoor air event that possibly has 30 or 40 or 60 or 70 acres. There's a difference there. So we're making that point with the county and with the state. And we've got a lot of support from our fairgrounds that's working with us and supporting us in that area. So we're looking to see if there's some options to adjust a little bit. If we're not able to adjust, the option would be to, certainly up until April 4th there will be no grandstands. It will be closed. We would produce a live stream for free. It won't cost anyone anything, a live stream for free. We'll put our sponsors in that, probably sell additional sponsors. And that's how we can get to the family members so they can watch, the sponsors that support these teams, they can watch the event, and then they will also air on MAVTV as our series does, 3-year deal that we just extended with MAVTV. Another option we would look at, if we're not able to increase the cap in the pit area, even in our case, it's a big pit area, open air, and we feel that we've got a pretty good case to make. If we could go a little bit past, possibly 350 would really help. If we're not able to do that, what we will do is reduce the amount of classes. So on a particular night, we would reduce it to make sure we stay under that 250 cap. And again, we've got basically 65 to 70 people between our TV production crew and our staff that's required to operate the Speedway, from ambulance, paramedics, firefighters, whatnot. So that takes a lot of that 250 cap and doesn't leave much room for race teams. So I just want to give you guys an update. Again, those that were out last night, the reason we functioned last night was had a lot of teams out. They were out from all over the country. We had a little bit of fun, put a bounty up for the fastest lap last night. And Bradley Erickson in the 5150 Junior Late Model Series took home $800 for his fast lap. And then Racing Vernon took home $500 minus the $100 he put in for his fast lap. So all of you online that contributed, everyone else that pitched in to make it some fun, that was a lot of fun. Gave us a big idea for this Saturday night. March 21st, if we're not able to function a full race event or even a partial race event with no grandstands, there will be a practice again, as I mentioned, for the teams that are trying to get warmed up and get ready to go. A lot of club racers coming out as well. We've already secured quite a bit of bounty money for this Saturday night. We're talking about doing a high side fast lap. We'll put the cones out halfway through practice, get some rubber down up there, and whoever lays down the fast lap, who knows, maybe we can get this thing $2,000, $2,500, something like that. We'll have some fun either way. So again, sorry about tonight, race fans, race teams. Thank you to all the teams that were so understanding. Our job right now, my job, is to get us and keep us functioning as much as possible, even on a limited basis. And when things settle down, return back to our normal operations. And lastly is to make sure, and we have the support from the fairgrounds and the state, we will not lose any dates. So even if we lose 2 or 3 here in March, we will make those dates up. So by the end of the calendar year, all dates will be completed that are on the calendar. So again, thank you to everyone for the cooperation. Sorry about what took place. I wish it would have happened Monday and not Thursday midday. But thank you guys again very much. We look forward to seeing you very soon. Race fans will do whatever we can to get a live stream, to get a feed out there so you guys can enjoy this as well, if we are able to operate on a limited basis coming up in the next few weeks. So again, thank you very much. Check out racemadera.com. Stay up to date there, and then certainly on our Facebook page, stay up to date. We'll see you soon at the Madera Speedway.